Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Brock Lesnar has retired. Officially. This is not a joke. I am not trolling you. Today on the Pat McAfee Show, Brock Lesnar announced he is officially done with professional wrestling and he has retired from WWE. The clip is everywhere. That's it. He's done. He did not do it on television. He did not do it at the end of SummerSlam. We thought he was done at the end of WrestleMania, but then that ended up not being his final match. He came back to finish his feud with Oba Femi for whatever reason. And then after losing to Oba in that feud, just unceremoniously retired on a random show outside of WWE television. That feels appropriate, right? He never struck me as the kind of person that would want to retire in the bright lights. He never cared about that stuff. He never cared about the movies, the cars, or the city lights, the fame. I'm not going to say he didn't care about the women. He probably did, but all of that crazy Hollywood stuff that we would expect people like him to care about, he never cared about that. He just wants his farm, his land. He wants to take care of his family, and he wants to live in peace away from society. He said multiple times he does not like people. So what better way to live out the rest of your life? He's 49 years old. He's going to be 50, I think, by the end of the year. Why not live out the rest of your life financially secure, all the money in the world, you never have to work another day in your life, and just farm, make some investments, go into the Hall of Fame, become a WWE legend, an ambassador, and just make money by making appearances here and there. I'm pretty sure we'll see him on TV every once in a while. Hell, you know what? Just for nostalgia's sake, if the right opponent comes around, you might, and I mean this, you might get one more match out of him with the right money and the right opponent. Who that is, I have no idea. Good luck finding him. But for all intents and purposes, I think he's done. I see a lot of people online saying they don't trust it. This is exactly how I pictured he would retire. No big ceremony, no big announcement. The fact that he said it on Pat McAfee Show is more than I thought we were going to get. I thought he was just going to just ride off into the sunset and we would just never see him again. That feels like Brock Lesnar. No farewell retirement tour, no emotional retirement speech, no standing in the middle of the ring by himself being showered by love with the fans, taking off his gear, no final speech with his family inside the ring, the entire locker room coming out. Nah, he doesn't want that. He's just done. That's Brock Lesnar. He's always struck me as somebody that didn't like that stuff. I want to take this time to talk about his career. I was privileged, and I mean privileged enough to see his entire career from the first day he stepped foot on WWE television, on Raw, in 2002. Yes, I'm that old. I am that old. I am Stone Age old. I know. 2002 was when he debuted, and I remember the first time I saw him. This guy looked like a Greek god, and he looks in great shape now. The way he looked in 2002, oh my goodness. It's like they took one of those super muscular men out of the Greek books, copy and pasted it onto WWE television. A straight bodybuilder. He looked like a monster. He wrestled and moved like a monster. Massive, explosive, very fast, extremely athletic, an athletic freak. He could do a shooting star press. A good one. Not the one you saw at WrestleMania 19, the one he botched. But during that time, he could literally do anything and everything. Whatever you needed him to do. He just wasn't another big guy. Thank God. They wanted him to be another big guy, but no, he was more than that. It was something at that point we had never seen before. During that first 4 months, y'all, one thing people say that gets on my nerves nowadays is that you can't push people too quickly. He just got here. Take your time. We got people like Braun Breaker, Javon Evans, Oba Femi, Trick Williams, and we see these talents who are ready. They're ready to take everything by storm. But what does WWE do? What does the audience do? They go, not yet. Take your time. We're going to wait. Oh, they're just young. We're not going to push them yet. But one day in the next 5 or 10 years when people stop caring, they're going to be world champs. That didn't happen with Brock Lesnar. That man came in at the age of, I think he was either 23 or 24 when he first came in. Because I know he was the youngest world champion at the time. So I think he was 24. 24. I'm going to go with that. 24. Regardless, at the incredible age of 24, looking better than anything that I have ever looked like. This man had some of the greatest moments that I have ever seen. Just to name a few. I'm not going to name all of them. This man took 2 hard steel chair shots to the head by the Hardy Boys. Matt and Jeff, one time on Raw, literally hit his head so hard with 2 steel chair shots, it sounded like gunshots. Back to back. Crazy. And guess what? He no-sold it. He took it, rolled out of the ring, and then shook it off like a goddamn beast. Defeated The Rock. First off, won King of the Ring. Look at that. You win King of the Ring. What do you get? A championship match. He won King of the Ring. Went on to beat The Rock. The Rock, one of the greatest of all time, at SummerSlam 2002. In my opinion, the best SummerSlam. Nothing comes close to it. Broke the ring with the Big Show. One of the greatest moments ever in wrestling. Not just on SmackDown, but ever. They broke the ring. I think that was the first time I saw the ring get broken. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the only time they've broken the ring before. But for me, that was a crazy moment. And it was believable. Big Show was like literally 500 pounds. And Brock Lesnar doing a superplex off the top rope. Oh, yeah. I'm shocked. They didn't crater to the middle of the earth. Crazy moment. Of course, we know he won the Royal Rumble. And his first year there, he won the Royal Rumble, main event WrestleMania against Kurt Angle. The infamous, this is a shooting star press spot I'm talking about where he botched it, but I still remember it. I remember this shooting star press spot. I'm never going to forget it. Of course, that incredible Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. And then him pushing Zach Gowen down the stairs in a wheelchair. Yeah, poor Zach Gowen. That man got treated so badly. That first year with Brock was perhaps one of the greatest first years I've seen any wrestler have. It wouldn't have happened nowadays because too many people are concerned about, what do they say? Rushing him, giving it to him too soon. Fuck that. If he's good, give it to him. There's nothing wrong with having a young quarterback. If he can do the job, if he's great at it, if he draws and he can have great matches, push him. I wish WWE would take more chances with wrestlers like they did with Brock Lesnar. One of the things that I really hate that we never got was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar. We were supposed to get this match. It was going to happen, but WWE did not want to give it any kind of build-up. And let's be real, Stone Cold Steve Austin was burnt out. The infamous took his ball and went home story. Austin and Brock was supposed to happen, but Austin went away. He left, and we never got it. We got Brock versus Hulk Hogan, and color me surprised, Brock dominated Hulk Hogan. Literally wore his blood on his chest like a badge of honor. Probably would have done the same thing to Stone Cold Steve Austin. But yeah, we never got that match. One of those matches that we will have to sit with and go, what if? I think it would have been better than Goldberg versus Brock. Don't get me started on that. We've had some stinkers with Brock, but we've also had some classics. I cannot move on talking about Brock's career in WWE unless I talk about his career in UFC. So we know that Brock left the company in 2004. He was just sick of everyone's shit. He was sick of everything and wanted to change his career. And so he decided, I am going to be a UFC fighter. And he became a UFC heavyweight champion. He became successful at it. Legit. The top guy in the UFC. Now, unfortunately, he had to retire due to diverticulitis. It almost killed him. Brock almost died due to this diverticulitis. It was that devastating. And many wondered if Brock would ever fight again. He thought he was done. We thought he was done. but he came back from it better than ever. And that's when we got the return in 2012, 10 years after his debut. Dare I say, the best Brock has ever looked. His second run in WWE up to this point when he retired is the best he's ever been. And I loved him during his first run. The first 2 years, incredible. Nothing beats the current Brock Lesnar that we see. And when he returned, it was a little rocky. He lost to John Cena and Triple H. Although he beat Triple H at SummerSlam, you knew Triple H had to get his win back. And he did. He got his win back at WrestleMania. Had an awesome match, classic match against CM Punk at SummerSlam 2013. But something was off. Something was missing. It didn't really feel like Brock was the beast incarnate, right? That didn't come until WrestleMania 30, where the unthinkable happened. And even to this day, I disagree with it. I understand why they did it. And ultimately, you can say it was for the best, but they had Brock Lesnar end the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. Taker didn't know it was ending. It was a Vince McMahon call. He told Taker, we are ending this streak. And they gave it to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar broke the streak. It was a big risk they took that ultimately paid off. It ultimately led to one of the best runs that I've seen many wrestlers have. SummerSlam that year, he decimated, dominated, massacred John Cena in minutes. And from that point forward, he was the final boss of WWE. He wrestled maybe 4 times a year: WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. But they treated him like the ultimate beast to conquer, the dragon. And I thought that was the best that he's ever looked. Did fans complain? Sure. But they bought the tickets. His matches meant something. When people beat him, it meant something. They didn't treat Brock like your average wrestler. He felt like a big deal. During that time, there weren't a lot of blockbuster megastars. Not a lot of people drawing people to the arenas, selling out stadiums. Brock Lesnar made stars. Think about the people he wrestled. The great matches, the awesome matches, the classic matches with people like John Cena, CM Punk, AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. We'd be here all day. Think about the matches we could have gotten, but we didn't get. Let's not talk about his match with Kofi Kingston that lasted for 8 seconds. We're going to pretend that never happened. Fuck anybody and everybody that booked that match and thought it was good. Regardless of a few people, he elevated everyone he worked with, even in defeat. People came out better after working with Brock Lesnar. The last run he had was the Cowboy Brock run after Paul Heyman left him. And Paul Heyman went to go work with Roman Reigns, became his wise man, and no longer became the advocate. The SummerSlam match between Brock and Roman, 2022, to me is one of the best matches they've had, if not the best match they've had. I still feel like the WrestleMania 31 match where Seth Rollins cashed in, that's up there. But in terms of just Roman and Brock, nothing tops their last man standing match at SummerSlam. Brock brought out a tractor and flipped over the ring. A goddamn tractor. Talk about breaking the ring. He flipped over the ring. One of the craziest spots I've ever seen. Incredible match. Incredible moment. And then, of course, the Vince McMahon scandal almost ended his entire career. Almost. It didn't. But when Vince McMahon got fired and all the scandalous details came out about him sex trafficking one of his employees, and Brock Lesnar was embroiled in that, it felt like we were done with Brock. Now, when Vince came back mid-2023, so did Brock. He came back, he had that feud with Cody Rhodes, which wasn't all that memorable, but it helped Cody. He put over Cody, that's what really matters. He worked with Omos. We're not going to talk about that, no one cared. And then, finally, he worked with Oba Femi. Oba Femi was the final opponent for him. The match at WrestleMania was awesome. We thought Oba Femi was going to retire him there. Brock came back, beat him. Whatever, it is what it is. Because Oba ended up beating him in the final match. And long and behold, the match we saw at Minnesota, After Brock said Oba is the future and he is the past, that was his last match. He passed the torch to Oba Femi. Oba Femi is now the new next big thing. The next big thing is Oba Femi. And Brock Lesnar is the past now. And here we are. He's done. No more Brock. Now, is there a chance that we could see him again? For sure. He's going into the Hall of Fame. Is there a chance we could see him wrestle? With the right price and the right opponent, one more match couldn't hurt. You might get a one-off if the opponent is right and the money is right. But in terms of Brock's legacy, you'll get people saying, you will burn out as quickly as you rise. Brock Lesnar is the exception to that rule. Brock Lesnar was able to get over quickly and stay over. He became an attraction within months. And I dare say, he just kept on becoming bigger and bigger. Multiple generations. This man lasted decades on top. Never lost his popularity. Never lost his notoriety. Very few wrestlers have felt as legitimate as Brock Lesnar. When he showed up, you know something was going down. He didn't feel like a wrestling character. He felt like a real-life monster. Because he is a real-life monster. He's a genetic freak. And part of the reason why we're able to feel that way about Brock, it's not just all him. Although, by himself alone, he's done a lot. We can't give all the credit to just Brock, though. Matter of fact, I don't think he would be here without one man, Paul Heyman. If there was ever a person to induct Brock Lesnar into the Hall of Fame, it has to be Paul Heyman. No one else. Those two are forever linked. Paul helped create Brock. There would be no Brock without Paul Heyman. Dare I say, there would be no Paul Heyman without Brock Lesnar. Those two made each other. Paul Heyman became one of the greatest wrestling managers because of Brock Lesnar. Where would Paul Heyman be if Brock Lesnar never came back in 2012? He's still one of the greatest minds in all of wrestling, but would he be one of the greatest managers if Brock Lesnar was never here? Brock Lesnar never comes back. We don't get Roman and Paul Heyman. We don't get the tribal chief. Brock was very instrumental in everything that we know about wrestling. So, just to kind of wrap things up, whether you love him or whether you hated him, there's no denying that Brock Lesnar is one of the all-time greats. One of the greatest big men to ever do it, perhaps the greatest big man to ever do it. First-ballot Hall of Famer, genetic freak, won all the championships, multiple-time world champ, main evented multiple WrestleManias, fought the best, beat the best, ended the streak. A big-time player, the beast incarnate, the next big thing for more than 20 years. Brock gave everything he had to wrestling. He made wrestling unforgettable, changed the business for the better, elevated countless stars, and now he gets to ride off into the sunset. His way. The only thing I have left to say is thank you. Thank you, Brock, for the memories. Don't know you, never met you, never will meet you. Don't need to. I appreciate you for what you've done for the wrestling business. I hope you enjoy retirement. You've earned it. And quite honestly, you don't need this no more. I hope he stays retired. I genuinely hope he doesn't come back. But never say never with wrestling. Anything is possible. But there you go. That is my thoughts and tribute to Brock Lesnar. Give me yours below. What are your favorite moments? What do you remember about Brock Lesnar? I appreciate you guys for watching me. And I hope you celebrate with me in the comments and in the live chat, wherever you're watching me, however you're watching me. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you all so much. As you file out, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Also, give the video a hype if you're watching on your phone. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. The links to everything are down below in the description. I love you all, and I will catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World, a place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Thank you for the memories, Brock. The Beast Incarnate. Brock Lesnar. Peace.